From Delaware's most award-winning radio news team, this is WDEL Video News. Here's Chris Carl.
Among Delaware's top stories for Thursday, April 26th, protesters have a message for DuPont. You may get a better view of state government. And the Senate approves funding for Amtrak and the Wilmington train station. Here are the details as the DuPont shareholders meeting went on inside the Hotel DuPont. Protesters rallied outside. WDEL's Melanie Armstrong was there.
They're not only killing employees, they're killing all the rest of us.
Banging on Teflon-coated pans and displaying a giant rat, the protesters called for DuPont to immediately stop making the chemical PFOA.
People died because of their environmental practices, which they continue. The bottom line is not the end. It's human lives, it's the retirees, it's the workers, it's all of us.
DuPont says PFOA hasn't been shown to cause cancer, but
we, on February 5th, committed by 2015, no later than 2015, to no longer make, buy, or use PFOA.
DuPont workers and retirees also protested against recent cuts to the pension and health care plans. Melanie Armstrong, 1150 AM, WDEL.
The death of a child after an accident at a Delaware daycare has been ruled accidental. The 3-year-old fell off a piece of playground equipment and hit his head last Thursday. Investigators say the boy was not hit or pushed. The boy felt ill after the fall but did not show any sign of visible injury. He returned home and fell asleep, and soon after, family members found him unresponsive. The boy later died at Children's Hospital in Washington. The move to open state government took a step forward by taking a step back. WDEL legislative correspondent Carl Konevsky has the story.
Members of the House Administration Committee heard 2 bills designed to make most meetings of the General Assembly open to the public. Both bills were tabled with the hope that committee members come together on a compromise. That works for Minority Leader Bob Gilligan as long as it gets done quickly.
The Majority Leader thinks that we should get together and talk about both bills, and we have a commitment to work on it before the Memorial Day recess or before markup, which will be the 3rd week in May. So that means that we should be working the bill within the next 3 weeks, and I think that's fine. And as long as we get it done before and the markup, so that the Senate has the month of June to consider it, so hopefully we can pass something this year.
House Majority Leader Dick Cathcart, who chairs the committee, says by working to get the bill done quickly, lawmakers aren't necessarily sending a message about open government. They're listening to one.
We're responding to the message that was sent us in November, and all during that campaign, which started in the summer before. So I think the message that we send is that we heard you loud and clear, and we're going to stand up and do what's right and start this process.
Both of the original bills called for party caucuses to remain closed, but all other proceedings, including meetings of the Joint Finance and Bond Bill committees, would be open. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
A new idea to make sure Delaware babies get a healthy start. WDEL News continues in a moment.
As you look for your college experience, make sure you look at Wilmington College, your key to success.
Brushing up on dental health could lead to more babies getting a healthy start in life. Details from WDEL's Carl Konevsky.
Sponsored by Representative Bethany Hall Long, a Democrat from Middletown, the bill, if passed, would provide urgent and preventative dental care for Medicaid recipients who are pregnant or become pregnant.
We have seen in the literature where there are indications of possible linkage between actual oral health and dental care and the relationship of potential preterm labor or premature birth. So it makes good sense.
Numbers from the newly formed Kids Caucus show half of all women experience new dental problems during pregnancy, with studies concluding a direct relationship to premature and low birth weight babies. Hall Long says the $275,000 cost of the program will be just a fraction of the cost of caring for a sick newborn.
It could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars on one baby, whereas if we could have prevented that birth prematurely, whether it be oral care, that was a nominal fee of less than $500. That's a huge savings and a huge indicator on quality of life for that child.
The bill now goes to the House Appropriations Committee. Reporting from Legislative Hall in Dover, I'm Carl Konevsky, 1150 AM, WDEL.
From dental to mental, WDEL's Lee St. John reports the state wants to make sure Delaware's kids are healthy.
The calendar might still say April, but it's not stopping the state children's department from getting an early start on Mental Health Month. Observed in May, Mental Health Month brings public attention to the programs and initiatives that the department and its private sector partners engage in all year long. Groups honored for their continued participation include Dicon Lutheran Services, Phoenix Behavioral Health, and the city of Wilmington for an initiative putting mental health professionals in the police station and sometimes right in the squad car to help kids exposed to violent crime.
Now we're there in some capacity other than an enforcement role. Now we're there with something other than a warrant. We've moved the clinicians into the police department. So when a police officer now needs some clinical advice as to dealing with children, they can just walk upstairs or call and have a clinician immediately right there with them. And when they go on the street, our clinicians can go immediately with them and join them on the street and respond to the scenes as they happen.
Other events are planned statewide throughout the month of May.
A collision on Summit Bridge Road leaves one person injured. State police say the accident at Old Schoolhouse Road around 3:15 yesterday afternoon left one person with serious injuries. The road was closed for about an hour during the investigation and cleanup. Improvements are a step closer for Amtrak and the Wilmington train station. The Senate committee in charge of Amtrak has voted to make changes and strengthen the national rail system for the next 6 years. Senator Carper is among those leading the sponsorship of legislation that he says will improve congestion on local roads and cut back dependence on foreign oil. If President Bush signs the bill, funding would be included to give a facelift to the Wilmington Amtrak station, about to celebrate its 100th birthday. The Phillies look for 5 in a row. WDEL Sports and your Delaware AccuWeather forecast coming up.
Oh.
Is everything okay, ma'am?
Not really. I need to ride DART tomorrow to get to work, and I forgot to buy my DART card. I guess I'll have to find a ride.
Well, you certainly come to the right place. Didn't you know that Acme now sells DART cards and paratransit multi-trip cards?
No, where?
They're available at our customer service desk.
Getting you there now starts at your 12 Delaware neighborhood Acme markets. DART and Acme have joined in partnership to be your one-stop shopping place for both groceries and DART cards. It's now easier and more convenient than ever to pick up your DART cards with Acme.
In WDEL Sports, and winning their 5th straight, Chase Utley went 5 for 5 and knocked in 3 runs as he led the Phillies to a 9-3 rout of Washington. John Lieber gave up just 2 runs and 5 hits in 6 innings of work. Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins homered for the Phils. It was Rollins' National League leading 8th home run. The Phils go for a sweep of the series this afternoon when Cole Hamels takes the mound against Sean Hill. Coverage on WDEL starting at 2:30. And Frederick got a pair of home runs from third baseman Ryan Finnan as the Keys down the Blue Rocks 4-3. The Rocks and Keys wrap up their 4-game series tonight in Frederick before the Blue Rocks return home for a 7-game homestand. Your WDEL Delaware AccuWeather forecast: cloudy and cool today, high reaching 59. For tonight, periods of rain, low 52. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with showers and a thunderstorm, the high reaching 72. Get news updates throughout the day. Delaware's top stories at the top of the hour on 1150 AM WDEL or anytime right here at WDEL.com, including news video from Delaware and around the world from WDEL and the Associated Press. I'm Chris Carl. Thanks for watching.